Greetings from Mattapoisett, Massachusetts. My name is Darren Boulay. Please allow me to introduce myself. I once was a very good golfer. That was back in the late 80s into 1990. In my high school years, I was ranked the top junior golfer of Massachusetts, and I won several statewide and placed high in a bunch of regional tournaments. I even played in national tournaments with eventual PGA Tour players. And back then, I could play to about a 1 or a 2, and that was true of any golf course I stepped foot on. I could just carry that handicap to any level of golf course. For about 10 years or so after high school, I became busy with other things. I wasn't playing golf as much, but I could still get out there, a few times a year, and each time I would, it was like riding a bike. I could just tee it up and score low. At about the 10-year mark, rust started to creep in, and golf no longer was so easy. And as the years ticked by and kids came along, and just the busyness of life got in the way, so I just didn't have time to dedicate to my golf swing. And golf became a source of frustration to me, because I would go out and it just was like, the game was still sharp in the mind, but the physical skills were gone. At about the 33-year mark, and there were 33 years of where I was always thinking about it in my spare time, and I'd putt on the rug at home and just thinking that it would eventually come back and I'd be able to play into my older years as a good golfer again, but it just wasn't happening. So I started to research on YouTube and try to find various pointers on what could get me back on track. And there were various teachers on there that had a lot of good teachings and had merit to what they were saying. There were a lot of gadgets that I was coming across, and quite a few of them had conceptually they were good. They had some good ideas, but I kept finding shortfalls with them. Either they were too bulky, they were damaging, where you got to stick things in the ground on the greens, and or they were just extremely pricey or heavy. Just you couldn't cart them around easily. So I just was like, a lot of these have a lot of good ideas, but I couldn't buy into any of them. So I'm a creative person anyway. I just said to myself, why can't I come up with something? Let's put my mind to this and see if I can come up with a gadget. Well, I've come up with something, and I do think that it's quite extraordinary. It's knocked the rust off big time. So it's called Boulay's Jig. Again, my name's Darren Boulay, so just in the name, Boulay's Jig. This is my jig. This is what brought me back to a fairly decent golfer. And I know the more I use this thing, I'm going to get back to where I once was, if not better. So it looks like this. This is one form of the jig. It can be used in so many different ways. The other form, so there's 2 ports. There's one that this was in originally, then there's one on top. It's just compression. It just holds like that. There's a pointer here that I'll demonstrate in other videos on how it works. But this is the jig, and I want to really encourage you to try this out. I have a QR code attached to each one that you can just take a picture with your phone and go right to the website. The website gets into the details of how to set it up, all the various aspects of what you can do with it, and it also connects you straight over. I have a YouTube page that will demonstrate how to use it. In case you don't want to bother with reading up on it, you can just actually watch me use it. And finally, I'd like to say this: as I've been using it, I've been coming up with so many different ways to set this up for aspects of my swing that need work. I encourage you, if you're creative, get out there, use this thing, find ways. Every swing is like a fingerprint, okay? Everyone's built differently, and the overall swing is generally the same, but there's little idiosyncrasies from golfer to golfer. I would encourage you, see if you can figure out how to make this match the thing that you need the most help with, or any area of your golf swing that needs help. I'm telling you, I originally just thought I'd be able to use this in maybe 1 or 2 ways, and I've come up with like 40. And each thing I'm like flabbergasted at how much it does improve and knock that rust off to bring you to a new level. It's a mimicry tool that shows you how to repeat your swing over and over in a way that you're not just thinking about it so much, you're just kind of following what this is guiding you to do. So without further ado, I have a series of videos that I would like to offer you to check them out and see if this is something that you'd be interested in. I highly encourage you. I know it's been an incredible help to me, and that was 33 years of frustration where I just couldn't do it on my own. This thing has really made it very simple, brought me back to the foundational aspects of the swing, and so I encourage you. Check it out, Boulet's Jig.